This month I've smashed my all-time dividend record. My passive income has gone absolutely bananas. In this video I'll show how much passive income I received from both share dividends and premium bond prizes. Let's get straight into it. On the 18th I received a tidy sum from RELX. The shares have plunged 21% this year and the yield is below average at 2.9% spread over 2 payments a year. What I like about RELX, however, is its ability to grow the dividend consistently year after year. This month RELX paid out a total of £110. Remember, this is not investment advice and I'm just showing you my own journey. On the 26th, I received a nice present from HSBC. The shares are up 20% this year and HSBC is a quarterly payer. The annual dividend yield is 3.9%. As you can see here, the dividend history has been a bit volatile and this is to be expected in the banking sector. This month, HSBC paid me a total of £135. All I've simply been doing is to spend less than I earn and invest the rest. It's that easy. On the 8th, it was the turn of IG Group to reward its shareholders. IG has recently been promoted to the FTSE 100 and it's had an incredible year, up 45%. The dividend yield, however, is low at 1.5%, but the dividend history looks robust with a big increase in payouts in 2025. This month, IG Group paid out a total of £155. In the world of finance, the people who are most successful are the ones who are doing what they love, and I just love throwing pieces of paper into an empty box. On the 4th, I received an envelope of cash from Diageo. The shares have fallen nearly 6% this year and the company has been going through a difficult few years. The dividend yield is 4.2% spread over 2 payments a year. Dividend history has been impressive, but expect that to change as Diageo has recently cut the dividend in half. Despite this, Diageo still paid me a total of £165. I'm fascinated by passive income. Remember, if you can't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Also in June, Imperial Brands pays out. The shares are down 11% this year, but the dividend is quite large at nearly 6% spread over 4 payments a year. Dividend history looks fairly robust, with the company able to raise the dividend consistently over the last 5 years. This month, Imperial Brands paid out a total of £195. Building wealth demands patience and persistence. Most people give up right before the compounding effect starts working. June is also the month my S&P 500 ETF pays out. This one has a ticker code IUSA and is now the second largest holding in my portfolio. By the way, if you want to see how much I hold in each of the companies mentioned, then I've listed the totals in the video description. IUSA is up 11% this year and pays a small dividend of 1%. This month, IUSA paid out a total of £200. I really enjoy putting my money to work to create wealth. I see so many people buying things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't even know. On the 4th, I received a cash payment from BAE Systems. The shares are up 5.7% so far this year with a dividend of 2% spread over 2 payments a year. Dividend history looks very strong with the company able to raise the dividend year on year. This month, BAE Systems paid out a total of £275. Investing really is a long-term game. Remember that someone is sitting in the shade today only because someone planted a tree a long time ago. On the 26th, I received some money from Unilever, which I didn't have to work for. The shares are down 8.7% so far this year. The dividend is above average at 3.8% and Unilever is a quarterly payer. Dividends are showing a long-term upward trend and that's what I like to see. This month Unilever paid out a total of £315. I've held Unilever for well over a decade. If you aren't prepared to hold a share for 10 years, then don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. On the 26th, I received a nice gift from Tesco. The shares are up slightly at the time of this video and a dividend is about average for a FTSE 100 company at 3.2%. Tesco has experienced some difficult times in the past, but it has been recovering strongly in recent years and is increasing the dividend payments per share. This month Tesco paid out a total of £325. There really is no magic shortcut to building wealth. Remember that the stock market is simply a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. June is the month when I receive a bundle of cash from Shell. The shares are up nearly 7% this year and a dividend yield is 3.8% spread over 4 payments a year. I love quarterly payers. The more frequent the payouts, the more motivating this journey can be. Here is the dividend history since 2021 and it's fairly stable. This month Shell paid me a total of £365 for doing absolutely nothing. Now some of the remaining payouts are quite staggering, and if you want to start your own dividend journey like I did, then Trading 212 will start you off with a free fractional share worth up to £100 if you sign up using my link in the video description, or simply use this handy QR code and start building wealth today. On the 26th, I received a lump sum from Royce. The shares are up nearly 18% this year. The dividend is small at the moment and the company has only recently started paying them again, but it looks like they are rising. Royce is the largest holding in my portfolio. This month they paid out a total of £395. Why work for money when you can make money work for you? If you are enjoying this video, then please hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. On the 26th, I received a stack of cash from BP. The shares are up 11.8% so far this year and the yield is a hefty 5.1%. Dividend history is a bit volatile as you would expect in the oil sector, but since 2021 the company has been able to raise the dividend. This month BP paid me a huge dividend of £425. They say you should never depend on a single income. Make investments to create multiple sources. Towards the end of the month, my FTSE 100 ETF pays out. This one has a ticker code ISF and it's a bit like buying the UK's 100 largest listed companies in a single share. The price is up slightly this year and the dividend is 3.3% spread over 4 payments a year. Here is the dividend history in pence per share. This month ISF paid out a total of £480. Many people say investing is risky, but with inflation destroying your savings, you have to ask, is it actually more risky not to invest? And now for a company which will be paying me my first dividend. And I know it's the one you've all been waiting for. It's Legal & General, which I've been quietly reinvesting much of my dividends into. Not only does it pay a huge dividend of 7.7%, but it's up 8.5% this year. The dividend history looks impressive too. Why on earth did I not invest in Legal & General earlier? This month Legal & General paid out an astonishing £745, my highest individual payment of all time. I could of course use these dividends to pay all my bills, but as I still have a full-time job which I absolutely love, I can just reinvest the dividends and let the snowball grow. If I'm ever unable to work for whatever reason, it's nice knowing that my bills will be covered. It's good to have options. Now onto the premium bond drawer. I only use premium bonds as my emergency fund, kept out of the market on purpose. You just never know when you might need a large sum of money in life, and the last thing you want to do is to interfere with the compounding process by having to sell your shares, especially if you are forced to sell them during a downturn. The headline prize rate has recently risen to 3.8%. There is one draw a month, you have easy access to your money, and there is a chance to win $1 million each month. All winnings are tax-free. If you want to see all my results from premium bonds over the last 8 years, I'll leave a link at the top right of this screen. The first £1 million winner this June was based in Leeds and held around 42k in bonds. The second lucky winner was from Cheshire West and Chester and held £33,800 in bonds. No £1 million for me this month, but I did at least manage to win one prize of £25. The bar on the left shows my expected average winnings at the halfway stage of the year with £50,000 invested, and the bar on the right shows what I've actually won. As you can see, I'm slightly behind expectation at the moment, but there is still 6 months of the year left, and it'll be interesting to see what happens as the year progresses. So the total passive income this month came to £4,310, my highest total ever. But here comes the taxman's claw to take some of my money away. Last month the claw was away on holiday and left me alone, but now he's back with a vengeance. Everywhere I go he's watching me and he's hungry for my money. How much do I have to pay the claw this month? Fortunately, nearly all my shares are safely tucked away inside a stocks and shares ISA, but there is not enough room to keep everything inside. Royce and my S&P 500 ETF are outside the ISA, and the claw will want to get his grubby paw on some of those dividends. But this month at least I do have a weapon up my sleeve. I've got a £500 dividend tax allowance and I've not used any of it up this financial year. This means I only have to pay the claw £35, but that's my allowance used up. I'm sure Mr. Claw will be back to torment me very soon. The green bars on this chart show my passive income for the first 6 months of last year, and the blue bars are for this year. All figures are after tax, so you can see what I actually get to keep. This graph shows how my average monthly share dividends has changed over time. You can see the impact of the pandemic in 2020, but also how quickly the dividends recovered. At the time of this video, I'm receiving an average of £1,664 a month in share dividends after tax. The current dividend yield of the FTSE 100 is 3.1% and my own portfolio is lower at 2.7%. However, as I've been investing for so long and companies tend to raise their dividends over time, my yield on the actual money invested is 6.5%. Now, don't forget the dividends are only part of the story. There is capital growth as well, which combined make up the total return. So how has the actual value of my portfolio changed after the first 6 months of 2026? Let's take a look. My complete portfolio consists of around 30 individual stocks and 5 exchange-traded funds. At the start of the year, the portfolio stood at 690k, and at the time of this video, it's increased to 775k. The stock market has been quite volatile this year. During the good times, I keep some funds aside and put more in when the market dips. This explains why I've put 15k of new money in from wages and savings so far this year, much more than I would normally do. I try to be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. This gives me a net gain in value of just under 69k after the first 6 months of the year. This equates to a percentage gain of 10% in 6 months. So despite all the stock market chaos this year, my portfolio has done quite well. These are of course unrealised gains, as I haven't actually sold anything to lock in a profit. Just before I show what I've been buying this month, here are the companies which I own and which will be paying out in July. There are 10 of them altogether. To be notified as soon as that video is released, then all you have to do is click the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. So what have I been buying in June? Well, I've been adding plenty to my S&P 500 ETF as I feel the price is a bit depressed at the moment. This ETF gives you exposure to the 500 largest listed US companies all in one single share. As we have already seen, there is even a small dividend of 1% a year. Ongoing charges are tiny at just 0.07%. Now, with my share portfolio sitting at around £750,000, how long did it take me to get here? And how long might it take to reach the magic million? To find out, then click this video here. See you next time and happy investing.